Boom. All right. We're live, and we are here to react to the absolutely spectacular, the reason you all tune in, and that's day 3 of the draft.
Right.
Well, actually, what we're really probably going to talk about for the most part is just how our teams did. But technically, we do have to talk at least somewhat about the, rounds 4 through 7. Which, I honestly, I thought the Bengals, I understood, I saw what the Bengals were doing. We had 2 4th-round picks, so we definitely got some decent players. But I loved that we got Connor Lew out of Auburn. In the idea that that's a player who I thought was, I would have been okay with the Bengals taking him in the 3rd round. A lot of people talked about he would have been the best center prospect in the draft had it not been for his injury. And not that we need center right now, but Ted Karras is, a bit older and his play has not always been keeping up with his age. So
Right.
So I do think thinking about the future of center, and then also he said he's willing to maybe play some guards. So we'll see. Obviously, the big controversial pick we made was Colby Young, the wide receiver out of Georgia, because of his past with I guess. Let me look this up before I put my foot in my mouth. But as I understand it, he was accused of battering his ex-girlfriend and their unborn child or something like that.
Oh, that's nice.
But those charges were also dropped. So it might have been there also could have been a lot of embellishment going on there. And from what I understand, look, my first thought when I heard we took a guy with off-field character issues, my first thought was Jermaine Burton. I'm like, fuck. But then I heard that literally everybody had nothing but good things to say about him, which is the opposite of Jermaine Burton. Because when we took Jermaine Burton, Nick Saban was like, "Y'all motherfuckers insane."
Is Jermaine Burton still on your roster?
I don't know. We might have cut him. Yeah, I think we cut him.
Oh, that's nice.
I don't think he's on the team anymore. I hope he's not on the team anymore. He's kind of he would be, yeah. Okay, so it looks like his Wikipedia page doesn't even explain. It says that he's not on the Bengals anymore, but it doesn't explain even when he got cut. Oh no, it says here. So Jermaine Burton. Oh, he got cut last year. Damn. He was suspended hours before the Week 14 game. And the next day we cut him.
Cool.
So yeah, Colby Young. So that was related. I'm not sure what that was related to, but while he was on the team, he had an incident where he allegedly choked his ex-girlfriend after breaking into her home. So that's he wasn't a very stable human being, and yeah. The Bengals. He was really talented, and when he was on the field, he was really damn good. But he mentally just was not ready to be a professional in any way, shape, or form, or even really to be an adult, or even a human. I'm not entirely sure he was ready to be a human. But Colby Young, obviously, I had a lot of concerns when I heard that Colby Young had an issue that was very similar to some of the stuff I've heard from Jermaine Burton, but the charges were dropped with Colby Young. So my guess is it's possible there may have just been a messy breakup. And then some things happened, some maybe not the best decisions were made, but perhaps there was also some exaggerating that was going on too, especially because it was just kind of waved off later.
Right.
But I don't know. But everybody talks about most of what I've heard, other than about that, most of what I've heard is that he's got great football character, and that he busts his ass when he's on the practice field, and he apparently he got injured in college, and he really impressed the coaching staff with how hard he worked back from that injury. And he honestly, it the more I heard about him, the more he reminded me of Joe Mixon more than he reminded me of Jermaine Burton.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously the Bengals, do have kind of two sides of the coin historically when they pick guys like that. So hopefully he just ends up more like Joe Mixon, because Joe Mixon turned out great.
Yeah. I mean, he was the second best running back in the 2017 draft class when you picked.
I don't remember all the running backs in the 2017 draft class, but I mean, he was like at one point for us, he was probably a top 5 running back in the NFL.
So yeah, I think he was like the second or third best running back in that draft class. Yeah,
that's probably true. I don't remember off the top of my head who else was in that draft class.
Because that was Alvin Kamara and Christian McCaffrey were the two that I'm thinking of.
Yeah. Other than that, like I said, we got Connor Lew, who I thought that was a great pick. We got did we not have a 5th round pick? I don't think we had a 5th round pick. Okay.
I know you traded your 4th round pick to the Jets.
Yeah, we also traded way up too. I think to get Connor Lew. Like I think that was a big trade up that we made. Like
and you also had a big trade down because I remember you traded I think the 110th pick to the Jets and you didn't pick again to the 130s. Or something like that.
Yeah, we were after the 4th round, our next pick was 189.
So no draft picks for you.
And so we took Brian Parker, the center out of Duke, who is a guy who I have not done any scouting on. I don't recall seeing his name during this whole process. So clearly the Bengals are thinking about the future beyond Ted Karras. But I don't know too much about Brian Parker, but I know I like Connor Lew. So, we'll see if Brian Parker makes a good backup to him or something like that. And then we took Jack Endries, the tight end out of Texas, in like the 7th round, which at that point, just like, see what fucking happens. And then our final pick, which I thought was a really good one, was Landon Robinson, the defensive tackle out of Navy. That's a guy who, before we did the Dexter Lawrence trade, I was looking at him in like the 4th round and stuff like that. So I thought that was, the Bengals I thought had a really good draft class. There were a couple of, there's like, a couple of guys who I don't really know hardly anything about. My reaction to the Cash Howell pick was not, positive, although I've kind of grown on it since then. But what about the Saints? What was as far as day 3 goes? What was the most notable pick to you?
For me, I think our most notable pick was Barian Brown in the 6th round, wide receiver out of LSU. And I'm not just saying that because I'm an LSU fan and a Saints fan. So he happens to be on my favorite college team and NFL team, and he actually played at Kentucky once upon a time too. So
well, he clearly wasn't very good for us because he didn't stay there.
I mean, he was all right. I mean, he had 5 kick return touchdowns, which is what I'm about to get to. Barian Brown, you know what this draft basically is telling me? The Saints are not building. The Saints are not building around Tyler Shuck. They are constructing around Tyler Shuck because they did not draft 1. They didn't draft 2. They drafted 3 wide receivers.
Those words mean the same thing in this context.
No.
I get you're trying to invent some sort of emphasis that you're putting on what you're saying, but that doesn't mean anything else.
Jordan Tyson, at first I thought was just, a little baby block. But now we're constructing a whole house.
You could also say building, though, is my point.
No.
I understand you're trying to place emphasis. I'm just saying the words you're using to do so are not doing what you think they are.
I don't care. But anyways, like I said, when we drafted Barian Brown, that was the 3rd receiver we drafted. And I'm like, oh, yeah, we doing something now. Because, and the thing I really love about the pick, is he has the record for the most kick return touchdowns in SEC history. With 6 of them. And when we traded Rashid Shaheed, my biggest philosophy was like, well, dang, who's going to return punts now?
Oh, yeah, that was the biggest. That was the biggest. I remember that was the biggest reason that you were sad about seeing Rashid Shaheed lead.
Okay, it was like top 3. It's like top 3 reasons.
You were, I remember, because every day it was just like, we have no kick returner now, and that's the only reason I care about him. And when the Seahawks win the Super Bowl, you were like, man, that's I don't care about that other than the fact that he wasn't returning kicks for us.
Right. But like Marion Brown, I think was an absolute steal in the 6th round. Him and
I did think that was a good pick.
And TJ Hall. TJ Hall in the 7th round, I had him. I thought I wanted us to drop him in the 4th round. So the fact that he fell to the 7th, I'm like, and mind you, we didn't even own that 7th round pick. We got that pick from the Raiders because we did a trade earlier in the day where we traded for Tyree Wilson, and the Raiders sent us a little 7th round pick as well. So yeah, we we got Tyree Wilson and we drafted keep on wanting to call this man Ty Law, but TJ Hall. So yeah, the offensive guard we drafted in the, I want to say 4th round, I think. The offensive guard we took, I was a little skeptical because he's not really like offensive guard type, at least not for me, but the Saints are trying to, in order to win games, you got to build in the trenches. And hey, if he's good enough to take Cesar Ruiz's job in the future, please God, I'll be happy about that. And who else did we draft? There was another, Bryce Lance was the other receiver we took out of North Dakota State, who, fun fact, is brother of Trey Lance. So, yeah, that's a thing.
I do remember. I was watching that on the draft coverage. They were talking about that, and I was like, that'll be an interesting talking point later.
And we also drafted the brother of Sonny Styles. We're just drafting everybody's brother.
Yeah, I was about to say, I thought that your safety pick was pretty. So I didn't realize he was Sonny Styles' brother, but
yeah,
I thought he was.
When I looked at them, I was like, yeah, they're definitely brothers. Man, they could be twins for all because they literally look the same. So
yeah. So I guess what I'll say is, who'd you say was your? Remind me of the name you said earlier. I asked who you thought was the most notable pick.
Barry Brown. Yep.
You said somebody was a steal. Who was that?
He was the guy that I feel like was a steal was TJ Hall.
Right. Yeah. TJ Hall, the Iowa corner. I actually feel like you would have felt better at the time had y'all taken TJ Hall in the 3rd round and taken Oscar Delp in the 7th.
Yeah, I know.
So,
but
that's what I'm saying, though. Like, you still got the value, you just did in a weird way.
Yeah.
Kind of like us. Like, I loved the Taco Davis pick. Like, y'all saw my reaction to it. I was very happy with getting him. But it is true that he was not expected to go in the 3rd round. That was definitely not what people were thinking was going to happen. I think, some people had him going in like the 6th round. I think I typically picked him up in my mocks in the 5th round. But I do think that hold on, I had it pulled up here. Let me find it real quick.
All right. Well, while you're doing that, one thing that pissed me off today was Atlanta drafting Harold Perkins. Who told y'all to draft Harold Perkins? I will sue you.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping. Oh, you know what? That actually, I'll get back to my thing here in a second. I think what I was going to say was getting Landon Robinson in the 7th round with like our final pick of the draft. I feel makes up for all of the value people think they're missing out with Takaria Davis. Like, yeah, maybe we reached a bit on him, but we got a steal in Landon Robinson. And also, I promise you guys are going to like Takaria Davis.
I really don't care about Takaria Davis.
Harold, well, okay, but you're not a Bengals fan, so why would you?
You said, I promise you're going to care about it. And I'm like,
no, I'm talking to Bengals fans, not you.
Wait, you said the word you.
I promise that you, Mikey, are going to think that Oscar Delp is fine.
I hope that your promise is correct.
I think you're going to look back on that pick and you're going to be like, wow, we still took him too high, but you know what? He turned out fine.
I basically did that this year with Tyler Shuck. I looked back and I was like, was it a high pick at the time? Yes. but they work out. Yes.
Yeah,
So
I don't think you're going to feel as positively about Oscar Delp that you feel about Tyler Shuck, though. Like, I don't think he's going to be like a. I think he's going to end up a starter for you one day, or at least like your number 2 guy, who's like a who's like mainly like your blocker. But I think he's going to do a good job of that. Is what I'm saying.
Kellen Moore does like his blocking tight ends.
Yeah. So you brought up Harold Perkins because and that made me think because like I wanted Harold Perkins, but the Bengals now that we're here, now that we're done free agency. Okay. But we're here at the point where like free agency is finished, the draft is over. We know all the moves that for the most part, obviously there's going to be a couple of moves here and there, but for the most part, we know the moves that the Bengals made this offseason, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, it's hard to really judge an offseason right after it happens because, like Dexter Lawrence could get hurt, or he could just, take a while to adjust to the Bengals system. Or like all of these draft picks we got could turn out that
he could retire.
The wide receiver I was just talking, I forget, Colby Young, could turn out like Jermaine Burton. Who fucking knows? Lots of things. Cash Howell could end up taking forever to develop, like Shamar Stewart so far, right? So I mean, like lots of things could happen. So you can't really. I don't really think you can grade an off season in full right after it happens. But as far as like the blueprint that I was hoping that they would follow, or to some extent, just like grading the plan. Now that we've seen the full execution of it, I don't want to I hesitate to really say A+ for the Bengals because that would not be true. It was not an A+ offseason. I might say like A- though. Like I would have liked to see them do something about linebacker. But other than that, like bravo. Like that, like the Bengals really like everything they needed to do other than address linebacker, they did.
Same.
For the Saints?
Yep.
They did everything but address linebacker?
No, we did everything but address corner.
I was about to say, you took a guy in the 7th round. What'd you do at linebacker?
Oh, we brought in Caden Ellis. He's back.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, he's back, but what about like replacing Demario Davis?
He's back.
Demario Davis is back?
No, Caden Ellis is back.
But how are you replacing Demario Davis?
Caden Ellis.
What?
Caden Ellis. He was literally a top 5, top 10 linebacker last year.
I understand that, but I don't.
And plus, he's younger than Demario. He's good at football, just like Demario.
He also plays a different, like.
They're both linebackers.
No, okay. Not all linebackers do the same thing.
Well, darn it, he does.
Okay. Who cares? Your teams both suck. Come on, people. For me, week 1 is NFL. Okay, so Jim, the Vikings also suck. So, like, I mean, I know you come on here and you're always saying, my team sucks too. The Vikings suck too. But like, I mean, if you're just like, what's the point in following any of this if all of our teams suck? Why are you here? Why are you here since your team sucks? Fuck you. Like, we're gonna talk about football, and if you don't like it, go watch like ballerinas or something.
I'm pretty sure my baby cousin is almost as tall as Kyler Murray.
I don't know how old's your cousin?
About 6.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because he's on the Vikings. I forgot. I was like, why is he talking about Kyler Murray? It's funny, but I don't understand the. Oh right, Vikings. Like why? I don't know. It just seems like such a weird fit for the Vikings.
I mean, hey, the Vikings at one point looked like they were going to trade for Derek Carr, but then they chose Kyler Murray instead.
I feel like Derek Carr would have made more sense for him.
That's what I'm saying. Even though I don't like Derek Carr, I think he's a tool bag and he's a self-absorbed jackass. I do think he would, be solid for Minnesota.
I don't know.
Still suck, but I think he would be better than Kyler Murray. He would suck better than Kyler Murray.
I have concerns about Kyler Murray playing in cold weather all the time.
And you know who also can't play in cold weather?
Who?
Tua. And you know what team Tua plays for?
I don't actually. I did not see who he signed with.
The Falcons.
Oh yeah, I forgot about it. He does play with it. Okay, so what does that have to do with it? Atlanta's not a cold weather city.
Yeah, you're right. But he still suck at football.
Well, I don't think he's their starter.
Oh no, he's their starter because Michael Penix done tore his ACL.
Oh yeah, he probably is their starter then. Okay, well that'd be interesting. Like here's the thing about Tua. Like Tua has a lot of potential that he's just never really realized.
Right.
So like,
dude has too much concussions that he went brain dead and forgot how.
Yeah, that is true. It's like because my first thought is like Sam Darnold turned it around, but then my second thought is Sam Darnold's problem wasn't concussions. So.
Right.
So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But like, Tua is talented. Like, I get the idea. Did the Falcons sign Tua after Michael Penix's thing was like they figured out he wouldn't be playing for the season?
Well, I mean, it's not official that he won't miss the season, but dude, ain't nobody playing week 1 for Atlanta with torn ACL.
Well, okay, so there's a difference between being a starter in week 1 and being a starter for the whole season. Like I think if Tua plays like one game, he'll probably be good for that one game.
Well, okay, even if Tua is not the starter, you think Michael Penix is any better?
Again, Tua has high potential.
The same person.
Michael Penix also.
They're both young and they both suck.
They both have good potential.
Yeah, maybe in about whenever they leave Atlanta.
That's also probably true.
Because they're cursed. Because Atlanta is cursed and they will stay cursed forever.
Is what's his name still their coach?
Who? Kevin Stefanski?
Oh right, I forgot they hired Kevin Stefanski. Okay. Kevin Stefanski's a good coach.
He's a good coach on a shitty ass team.
I mean, I'm curious to see what he does with Tua, frankly. I'm not saying it's gonna work out. I am saying like if you're the Falcons, you're probably like this is about the best you were gonna do.
Yeah, I mean, it was either him or yeah.
I like in the situation they're in, pairing Kevin Stefanski and Tua is probably about the best shot you had to be competitive this season. And I'm not saying it's a high likelihood, but
not everybody can have Tyler Shuck. Not everybody can do that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'd rather have Joe Burrow personally, but fair enough.
I don't care. By the way, speaking of don't care, did you see that Mark Ingram done roasted the Steelers?
Was that him who did that?
Yeah. Him and his son.
That he was the one who had the kid.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't realize that was Mark Ingram. That was I lost my fucking mind when that happened. I just like this is the greatest thing that I've ever seen happen. Like in the middle of Pittsburgh's fucking draft, this kid just gets up on the microphone and shouts, "The Steelers still suck!" And I'm like, I don't care. I might start rooting for the Ravens now. Not against the Bengals, but
Yeah,
I think the Ravens have earned an extra. Maybe I'll forgive them for some of their fans being dicks.
Yeah, I saw that video this morning. I'm like, man, I gotta send Kyle this, man. I just gotta do it.
No, I saw that. I saw it live. So.
Oh, you did? Yeah.
That was phenomenal. And it wasn't just that kid. Like Ravens fans just kept shitting on the Steelers throughout the entire fucking draft process. Which I mean, like, you know, take your shots when you take them. But good lord, that was funny.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I was like, man, that my boy Mark Ingram.
Pittsburgh, you see Pittsburgh booed our fan when he said Who Dey. I was like, fuck you guys.
I mean, hey, you saw that one Saints fan that announced one of our picks? And when he was leaving, he was like, we're getting shucked tonight. We're getting shucked.
I did not see that. No, I'll be honest with you. I was not really paying very much attention to the broadcast during. I was checking to see who the Saints picked, but I wasn't really watching the broadcast much.
Right.
All right. Well, who's the pick that concerns you the most out of just let's do the whole class for you so far.
Okay.
And is it, and my second question, is it Oscar Delp?
Well, you see, I think there's a lot of play. It's Oscar Delp.
Okay. Let me look through y'all's class real quick, because I like Oscar Delp. I don't know if I like Oscar Delp in the third round, but I like Oscar Delp. Like, I think Oscar Delp's a good player.
All right.
Okay, let me see your okay, guys. I think it's Jordan Tyson, honestly.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm pretty concerned about him.
I am the least concerned about him.
Well, I mean, look at this. Look at this. Hold on.
I'm looking. I don't see anything.
Look, I just my biggest issue with Jordan Tyson is just I feel like, you know,
Let me guess. His injury concerns.
No, he had a lot of drops.
Man, so did Chris Olave. You saw what he did last year.
Yeah, you saw what the Saints did last year, right?
Yeah.
Missed the playoffs.
We were undefeated in the month of December.
And where were you in the playoffs?
Where were you in the playoffs?
That's not. We don't have Chris Olave. That's not the point. We didn't draft Jordan Tyson. We're not talking about the Bengals. We're talking about the Saints.
All right, let's talk about the Saints. Okay, so yeah.
I also feel like Jordan Tyson can be impatient and hurry his routes at times.
But the man cried.
Okay.
Like, the man walking down that tunnel with his little Saints hat on. All right, you know, he was right. Do a walking, right? And then, what did he do? He got to the Saints logo and took a knee and started breaking down crying, Lord. Man, when he started crying, I started crying. Man, we're going to the Super Bowl.
Okay, so you like him because he showed emotion about being drafted.
Yes.
And for that reason, even though you liked him before, you had all these reasons before the draft, but you're not telling me about any of those now.
Oh,
you're not arguing with the things that I'm saying. You're just like, oh, he cried.
Hey, do you want me to tell you about the football reasons too?
Kind of, yeah. That was kind of what I was asking about.
Let's not in the detail. So there was some plays, right, where Jordan Tyson, right, he catch the ball and he run real fast. I'm talking about he runs so fast. If it's a one-on-one foot race, you have about a 2% chance, to catch Jordan Tyson. And Jordan Tyson, he's versatile too. The man jumps so fast, like the man jumps so high, man. Like there was this one game where he jumped over dude and did these.
Yeah, after the catch, but
Exactly.
His route running. Yeah, against college cornerbacks. My concern is that he doesn't.
Jamar Chase did it against friggin' college guys, and y'all drafted him in the top 5. AJ, like goddamn Puka Nacua tore up college DBs, and you see what he's doing in the NFL. JSN tore up a college DBs.
That's not what I was arguing against. I was arguing against you like he's really fast, and I'm like, okay. So Darius Hayward-Bay was fast, if you recall.
You can't coach speed, and he's already got that down. And
okay.
Jordan Tyson
Darius Hayward-Bay was fast.
Did he catch ball real good?
Not in the NFL. I think he did it better in college.
Okay. Like, okay, I'm not saying Jordan Tyson is the most polished prospect, no flaws in his game. That's not what I'm saying. I do think with his intermediate routes, I do want them to be improved.
He's also got a lot of injury problems.
So did Tyler Shuck last year. You saw what happened to him this year.
Right. I'm not saying injury issues are the end all be all. He's got a lot of injury issues. I don't remember how many injury issues Tyler Shuck had.
I don't care. As long as his fingers are still intact and he didn't kill nobody, I don't care about them injuries. As long as there's no hand injuries, I don't care because we just need him to catch ball. I don't care if he catches the ball and just fall to the ground every play. As long as he catches the ball, I'm cool with it.
Right, but the thing that I'm concerned about is his ability to shake NFL level defenders. That's what I meant.
Okay, I understand that part. But Jordan Tyson against, like, we could say that about anybody. Like, Jordan Tyson, he does some of the stuff that you can't even coach. And everybody in Jordan Tyson's circle has been, even guys that aren't in Jordan Tyson's circle, have been this man up. Like, a lot of people say he's the best receiver in the draft class. Do you think that's just a damn coincidence? He was a top 10 pick for a reason.
A lot of people said Connor Lew was the best center in the draft class. Doesn't mean that was the case. A lot of people said Colton Hood was the best corner in the draft class. That doesn't make it the case.
We're not talking about Colton Hood.
No, we're talking about the arguments you're making.
Okay. Like, Jordan Tyson, like, nobody asked for him to play college last year. Nobody asked him to do that. He played against the competition that he had to. If he wanted to go to the NFL last year, why couldn't he?
Oh, no, I'm not tearing him down for playing against college players. I'm just saying the things that he did well, we're measuring against college opponents. And the things that I have concerns with are more so that's going to get harder in the NFL. Whereas, like, you know, the fact that he's fast, that's just going to be what it's going to be.
Newsflash. We do this every year. We measure everybody's talent against college guys. We do this every year since the beginning of time. We've been looking at prospects against college guys. I'm talking about from the first ever NFL draft. We've been looking at how the guys did against college people.
But I'm not saying he's not fast. I'm just saying that doesn't indicate to me that doesn't. I'm just saying. I'm not right. What I'm saying is what you're saying. The what you're saying about how well he did in, like, you know, like he catch the ball and nobody's able to catch him. I'm not saying that that's not true, and I'm not saying that necessarily won't be true in the NFL. What I'm saying is the things that I have some slight concerns. I'm not saying Jordan Tyson's going to be bad. Let me make that clear. I don't think he's going to be bad. I have some concerns to the point where I don't think he was necessarily. I would have taken him in the second round. And the concerns I have are mainly just that I don't know if he's okay. Everything that is a concern to me about Jordan Tyson can be coached, and you absolutely, you said that, you're correct. But it's going to take time to coach it, and do you guys want him to be like a high-end contributor now or not? And if so, why'd you take him in the top 10? Because
he's a top 10 player in this year's draft.
He is a top 10 talent. I'll give you that. But I don't feel like he was the best ready to go now.
From how the board was, from how the board was at 8, right? Mansell, the Saints were going to drop the lane. He was gone. The Saints next guy was Carter on tape. He was gone. Like, Ruben Bain was there, cool. But the best player available at a position of need for the New Orleans Saints with the 8th overall pick was wide receiver Jordan Tyson. So yeah, does he have concerns? Yes. And I'm not gonna lie, before the draft, I was even concerned with him just a teeny tiny bit. But then I look back and I was like, okay, all the things that Jordan Tyson needs help with. Like, let's look at the coaches for the Saints. Kellen Moore, he can do the job. Doug Nussmeier, he can do the job. Saints got good coaches. Like, yeah, we talk about helping now. The Saints got the coaches to help Jordan Tyson right now. And even if he doesn't contribute right away, that doesn't mean, like, for example, right, Marcus Colston, right? The man never made a Pro Bowl his entire career, but was one of the best receivers in Saints history, if not the best. So you don't have to have all the flashiness to be great. But can you still be great? Yes.
I feel like it's not a crowded room for the Saints and wide receivers throughout their history.
I don't care. That's not
like I mean, Marquez Colston might be. I don't know if he had the highest peak, but might overall be the best wide receiver in Saints history. But like compared to who?
Michael Thomas. And that's about it.
And Michael Thomas, I'm kind of iffy on, to be honest with you. Like at his peak, yes, at his peak, Michael Thomas was phenomenal, but his peak wasn't that long.
I understand that, but my point is, right, Marquez Colston didn't have all the flashiness. He didn't have the accolades. He still dropped the ball a lot. But what was he? Best receiver in Saints history.
But again, like if he was a Bengals receiver, he would have been like I'm not sure he'd be top 10.
Well, that's a you.
The Bengals are also kind of unfair because the Bengals do have a very long history of like great wide receivers. To be fair,
I thought we were talking about
my point. No, I was providing context for Marquez Colston. So my question is, are you taking Marquez Colston at number 8 overall?
Dude, Marquez Colston was a 7th round pick, and he was.
That's what I'm saying. Marquez Colston was a phenomenal value in the 7th round. Jordan Tyson was picked number 8 overall.
Because with the eyes, okay, let's use our eyes. With the tape,
I did use my eyes.
Jordan Tyson.
The highlights that Jordan Tyson had. Because there was a lot of concerns that I had when I looked at Jordan Tyson's tape.
Yeah, you had the concerns, but clearly Kellen Moore didn't have those concerns.
That is also fair. Kellen Moore, I'm sure, knows more than football about me. So I will yield to Kellen Moore on this one. I'm stating that I have some skepticism. I do think he's going to be good. I have some things I'm just like, you need to get better at that.
I understand. And freaking every receiver in this draft class could be great. Every receiver in this draft class could suck. However, one thing that is for sure, one thing I'm confident in, is Jordan Tyson's ability. Because, yeah, were the injuries a laundry list? Sure. Does he need injuries? I don't care. Does he need to get help on some stuff? Sure. But last time I checked, guys can be in the NFL for more than 1 year. So he's got time. It's not like, unless like a terrible injury happens where he has to medically retire. Other than that, like, we drafted him because the Saints' winning window is right now. So we drafted wide receiver Jordan Tyson to help win right now.
You're also
and like I mentioned, we drafted 2 other receivers other than Tyson.
So I know a lot of people talk about like NFL players, they have, if they're good enough, they have long careers and they can develop over that long time. But I mean, don't forget, a free agency exists. Like, you're guaranteed to have him for like 5 years max. And after that, maybe re-sign him. But I'm just saying that was kind of my argument with a lot of Bengals fans about Jermod McCoy. I understand why the Bengals didn't draft Jermod McCoy, because if you're not going to take him in the first round, then at most you're only guaranteed to have him for 4 years. So if he's going to miss a whole year, and especially for us, if we are guaranteed to not develop guys very quickly, that's just a Bengals thing. These guys don't develop quickly. By the time Jermon McCoy actually breaks out and becomes the player that you drafted, he's going to be hitting free agency. So, you know, I mean, I'm not saying I have as many concerns about Jordan Tyson as Jermon McCoy. I'm just kind of making a point about when guys don't develop in their first year, that does kind of count against their draft value. Even if you guys do re-sign him and he becomes like the greatest wide receiver of all time, like year 7, it has nothing to do with when you drafted him.
I understand that, but you don't draft a guy with the intention for him to not be on the team in 5 years. You draft a guy who you want to consider that.
I think you have to consider that.
Yeah, sure. Maybe in the 5th round, maybe in the 3rd round. But like in the 1st round, you're drafting guys that you love, that you want to build your franchise around. You're not going to love a guy who's not going to be on your team in 5 years. You want to have this guy long term. You want him to retire with you. Will that happen? I don't know. But in order to draft in the 1st round, you have to. And Mickey Loomis has said this. He loves Jordan. He's not like loves. And why would you love a guy that's not paid?
Okay. Let's hold on a minute. I'm gonna pump the brakes. Of course, Mickey Loomis said that. He took him 8th overall.
Exactly.
Duh. Like, why? Even if Mickey Loomis might not love him, he's still gonna say it. Sean McVay got on the TV and he was like, "Oh no, you know what? I actually was perfectly fine with Ty Simpson. I think we're gonna, do a lot of things. I just wanted to make sure that we were not, being too mean to Matt Stafford now because, he's my boy. I just got to make sure it's Matt Stafford. No, trust me, Ty Simpson. We're gonna be best of friends. I promise. We saw your face, Sean.
Right. That was the thing. But Sean McVay ain't Mickey Loomis.
Sean McVay. I would trust Sean McVay more than I would trust Mickey Loomis. I think you would too.
You're right. But that's besides the point, right?
It is besides the point. Yeah.
There's only a couple people I would not trust with an NFL team. That's Mickey Loomis and Jim. But everybody else, I'm cool with.
Wait. You would trust everybody on the planet except for Mickey Loomis and Jim with an NFL team.
Yeah.
I don't trust you with an NFL team if that's the case. Because I promise you, Mikey, I get on here, I talk, I act like I know what I'm talking about, and to some extent I do more than most of my friends, which is why I run a YouTube channel and stuff. But I promise you, when I criticize the Bengals for doing certain things, like when I was Cash Howell, why are we taking a defensive end, et cetera, et cetera. I promise you, I'm very aware that I don't know football better than Duke Tobin. Okay. Just because I think a pick's good or not good, that doesn't mean it's true.
Right.
I would hope and pray that if you somehow became in charge of the Saints, you would not trust me to run the Saints.
All right. Well, look. No, I just said that just to throw shit at Jim. But anyways, when it comes down to it, the New Orleans Saints, right, drafted Jordan Tyson in the 1st round, and that happened. If Mansour Lane was on the board at 8, they would have took the lane. But the Chiefs wanted to be dickheads and jump us for the 2nd time to take the guy that we were going to take. So we had to resort to the best player available. Who was Jordan? The Saints have said it time and time. The Saints went to Jordan Tyson's workout or pro day or whatever it was, and the Saints said that they loved Jordan Tyson. They didn't say that they loved anybody else.
He's got great traits. I'll give him that. He's got a lot of upside. If you do a good job coaching him, you can get a lot out of him. Personally, and again. I don't even do this professionally. I do this because I'm a nerd and need an outlet. So I created a YouTube channel. So I have zero qualifications to be saying any of this. But personally, I had Mekhi Lemon and Omar Cooper on my board ahead of Jordan Tyson.
Look, and hey, I said Mekhi Lemon was the best receiver on the board too. I did say that. But I don't look at stuff like that. I look at
that's a good pickup, Mark.
I said I look at where did you get the guys, like who are the guys, and Jordan Tyson, like yeah, sure, is Mikhail Lemon great? Yes, but Jordan Tyson, I think, has a higher ceiling than Mikhail Lemon does. That's just me personally, because if the concerns fix themselves, Jordan Tyson, he has like top 10 receiver potential. That's how good he was in college.
I think I agree with that for the most part. I think if Jordan Tyson reached his absolute peak, best he could possibly be, and Mikhail Lemon also reached the absolute best he could possibly be, I think Jordan Tyson would be the better receiver. The problem is, and again, I think they're both going to be good. The problem for me, and the reason I would take Mikhail Lemon is because I just feel like Mikhail Lemon is more developed than Jordan Tyson.
Lemons are overrated.
Already. Lemons are delicious. All right, you know what? Like, I mean, we like, I'm like, okay, you know what? We can talk about our difference in opinion on like the draft classes. You can tell me about like how you feel about like, you know, the traits of this wide receiver, and I can tell you that like I just don't, you know, like I mean, we can get along with that, but you insult lemons again, you're off my fucking show. You understand?
I like lemonade. I just don't like eating lemons.
Unbelievable. Lemons are God's gift to humanity.
I think of that with oranges. I just don't
okay. Yeah. Okay. So okay, I will admit I'm weird and I like eating lemons like a fruit. I understand I'm weird like that. So yeah, okay, eating lemons, fair enough. You don't like eating lemons, but lemons aren't typically, most people don't eat lemons. Most people use them as like to like squeeze lemon juice on their food, or they use the zest to kind of give it their food a citrusy flavor. It's more of a seasoning type of fruit than it is just eating the fucking fruit. Now I'm weird.
I'm weird too.
But for what people typically use lemons for, and you don't like that, then you can get the hell out of here.
Yeah, that's not gonna. What, you're gonna kick me off because I don't like lemons?
Yes.
That is.
Next thing you're about to tell me you like onions on your pizza.
I don't eat onions at all. I do like pineapple on pizza though. That I do like.
Okay, listen. I joke a lot about like pineapple on pizza is an abomination. You know, it's like it's not my preference, but the meme is funny, so it's fun to, you know, et cetera, et cetera. But onions are genuinely an abomination on pizza.
Yeah, that is true. I don't eat onions on anything. So
I used to completely hate onions. I have found as I've gotten older and learned more about cooking and stuff that there are a lot of applications of onions that are fantastic. But like I still don't really like, if I'm going to be eating onions in a dish, I want them to be like really fine diced so that I not even really like I don't crunch into an onion.
Right. You're right.
I do like the flavor of onions. Just the flavor of onion plus the texture is just a lot.
All right.
Anyway, Mark, you're talking about the Buccaneers, and I did not see that y'all signed Jalen Daniels as UDFA. That's a very.
Why did y'all do that?
Why does
everybody in the South got to take former Saints and former LSU players? Leave them alone.
I'm actually very happy with the Buccaneers because
on their phones.
You guys drafted Reuben Bain and Keontae Scott and removed any potential sense of temptation that the Bengals might have had to do such a thing. Both are players who I have talked a lot of shit about on the show, and I want to be absolutely clear so nobody thinks that I don't like them as prospects. I think they're fine. I think Reuben Bain could be a very good player in the NFL. I just really thought, particularly with Reuben Bain, that if he ends up on the Bengals, then he's going to end up being a terrible, horrible player because he does have issues with tackling that he needs to fix in the NFL. And tackling is a very fixable issue. Like it's a very coachable thing. The Bengals can't fucking coach it. So I'm thank you for taking Reuben Bain and removing any temptation from the Bengals to do so. Same with Keontae Scott. I think I would have been more upset if we had drafted Keontae Scott. Luckily, the Buccaneers removed temptation from us to do so.
Right.
But thank you, Mark. Mikey is angry with you, and I'm happy with you.
Hey, I'm happy they took Keontae Scott too.
Were you worried that the Saints were interested in him?
Honestly, I actually had the Saints drafting Keontae Scott in my mock draft.
That's unfortunate.
That's how the board fell.
Although once again, he would have worked out for the Saints. I just very specifically thought that he'd be a disaster for the Bengals.
You see, sometimes it's not about the vision, but it's about the realization.
What?
Sometimes it's not about the vision.
Do you just like say words sometimes and hope that people understand what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Sometimes, look, every bottle's got a cap.
What'd you say?
Every water bottle's got a cap. What?
Not everyone does. Sometimes people lose the cap.
You need glue inside of the glue stick for the glue stick to work.
Well, it wouldn't be a glue stick. So that's fundamentally not true.
Exactly.
It would just be a stick. It wouldn't be a glue stick. So it would work just fine because it would be a stick.
All right. We're getting off the walls early tonight.
Do what?
We're getting off the walls early tonight.
Why the fuck not? I mean, unless you really want to talk about, let's see. Oh, Mr. Irrelevant. We need to talk about who was Mr. Irrelevant, who I totally.
I don't even remember dude's name.
I don't. Yeah, let me see.
All I know is that he's ugly.
Ugly. Red Murdoch, the linebacker from the Buffalo Bills.
I don't like
Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bisons? Is that who the college team is?
I think so. I know he was drafted by the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, he was drafted by the Broncos. He's not that ugly.
Sure, but anyways,
I mean, I wouldn't say he's like I'm not saying he's like, David Hasselhoff or some shit, but like, I mean, I wouldn't call him remarkably ugly or anything like that. He's a perfectly average looking human being.
There's always a head on the nickel.
Not necessarily true. There's errors on lots of coins.
But if you flip it, then it could land on tails. But people don't have tails.
Well, no, but nickels do.
But nickel's not a person.
Are you just that's racist.
You're racist. You're racist because you don't like. No, you're racist because your quarterback is white. So yeah, that's racist.
I thought it was interesting that Garrett Nussmeier almost fell out of the draft. And then went to the Chiefs.
Honestly, I thought the Saints were going to draft him in the second round, to be honest with you.
How did you feel about him?
Honestly,
like when he was at LSU, I don't mean as a prospect. I mean as your quarterback. How did you feel about him?
He had all the records and stuff, but I ain't gonna lie. Watching that dude play against a top-ranked team and watch him piss down his leg every time, I had enough of him, to be honest with you.
It's a wonder that he had all the records if he wasn't very good.
Look, it was weird with Nussmeier. I think he broke either Burrows or Daniels or somebody's record that he broke his first year here. Well, his first year starting here, but it was he was good, but we didn't win. The only game I could remember him winning was that Ole Miss game, and even in that game, he was throwing interceptions and stuff. But I don't know. I think
I still blame Brian Kelly.
What?
I still blame Brian Kelly.
I blame both of them. But I don't know. At LSU, him, Sloan, and Kelly, they were just not on the same page, and Garrett Nussmeier, there was this one game. I'm trying to remember who was it against. It was against. Was it Alabama? No, it was South Carolina. That's what it was. I remember it was a South Carolina game. Last year we won the game because South Carolina was pretty dog water. But the man turned the ball over 3 times in the red zone, and I'm like, good God Almighty. But yeah. So yeah, he's very inconsistent. I'll give you like he's not bad. He's kind of like Bryce Young. Like if I had to give him an NFL comparison, it would be Bryce Young. Dude is either gonna have a great game and you think he's the future, or he's gonna have a game where you think he's gonna be getting you a McFlurry next week.
You wouldn't be getting me a McFlurry.
He's gonna get somebody a McFlurry.
I don't really care much for McDonald's.
But yeah, I mean, he's with the Chiefs, so if there was a good team to go to, I guess it would be the Chiefs.
Did you see Urinating Tree's reaction to Drew Aller?
I did not.
He was he was fucking pissed.
Damn, what Drew do?
Well, okay, so I think it was more the optics that pissed him off than Drew Aller himself. But being basically being Kenny Pickett 2.0, first of all. And second of all, with Aaron Rodgers, and him still having not made a decision and everything, and this kind of feels like a good way to piss Aaron Rodgers off and take a quarterback, even though it's absolutely the reasonable thing to do. But Aaron Rodgers is an insane human being.
Right. You're right.
So I think Urinating Tree's reaction was less one of like, oh no, Drew Aller is terrible, and more of a reaction of like, oh god, not this shit again.
Right.
I thought it was quite funny.
Right. I mean, hey, so you probably don't know who this is, but maybe you do. So like last year, right, my dog, John Barnes, right? He was streaming the draft last year, and it was the second round, right? And the Saints drafted Tyler Shuck, right? He was pissed off, right? Like John, who's Saints fan, he was pissed off that we drafted Shuck, man. He was cursing. He wanted to throw things. He was saying, "Shit, don't say." And man, I ain't gonna lie, this year he a whole new man, and I'm so proud of him.
What? I don't know if I followed half of that, to be honest with you.
Well, that's because you lost me.
Okay. I don't even know what your point is even more.
Plus, we play the Bengals this season, so Jordan Tyson gonna have 200 yards. Tyler Shuck gonna have 700 yards.
No, because Taco Davis is gonna shut him down.
Boy, y'all defense is trash.
Do you see how? What do you mean our defense? How would you possibly know? Half of our defense is new. You can't possibly know what our defense is going to be like this year. I don't know what our defense is going to be like this year because everybody's fucking new.
What you do?
No, that's what we've done recently, but it's not historically what we do.
Man, Tyler Shuck going to be the best quarterback of all time in this mug when he plays the Bengals.
No. Taco Davis is going to shut down your new.
I don't even like tacos.
That sounds like a you problem. All right, I can tolerate some opinions. Apparently, not any food opinions because I said the same thing about lemons earlier. But how do you not like tacos?
Because they are trash.
What's there not to like about? It's a fucking sandwich.
The meat inside of the taco is like, yeah.
Well, get different meat.
I tried.
Like a taco is just a concept. It's not a specific. If you're judging tacos on Taco Bell, then yeah, they're gonna be fucking trash. But if you get like a nice shrimp taco or something, that's delicious.
I've eaten a lot of tacos before, and every single one I've despised.
You clearly haven't eaten that many tacos. Some people can make bad tacos. I'll give you that. But disliking tacos is like saying I don't like sandwiches. Like, what do you mean you don't like sandwiches? There's so many different kinds of fucking sandwiches.
And I hate all tacos.
You haven't had all tacos.
I hate all the tacos I've tried, and I'm scared of commitment, so I'm not eating any more tacos.
A taco is a. Do you hate tortillas?
Yeah.
Why?
They're just too moldy for me.
Moldy?
Yeah. They literally just look like dope that's just wrapped up.
Do you know what bread is?
No, I know what bread is. I like bread.
What the fuck? All a taco is a tortilla, which apparently you think is too moldy, apparently. All taco is a fucking tortilla with stuff inside. It can be whatever the fuck you want.
It tastes too white, dude.
Too white. Like white, like Caucasian?
Sure, it just tastes too white.
Then don't have a white taco. What?
But then the other taco's gonna taste too yellow.
Then don't have a yellow taco, whatever color you want.
I don't like eating colors.
Then eat a gray one.
But
What's your favorite food, Mikey?
Pizza and hamburger, depending on the day.
Put pizza and hamburgers inside of your taco, that'd be insane. But it's literally, if you just put tortillas on top of a burger, it becomes a taco.
No, it's not.
Yes, that basically does. I guess you have to put a burger inside of one tortilla. Like you'd have to wrap the tortilla around the burger, but it would basically become a taco at that point.
No, it would not.
Okay, well, point being, taco's going to shut down your guy.
What?
Point being, taco's going to shut down your guy.
I don't like tacos, and tacos doesn't like football, so no, he's not going to do it.
I think he likes football just fine. It seems like he plays it pretty well.
He's not going to play he's going to be a bust, and I'm going to tell you why.
Are you expecting Jordan Tyson? I don't know why I keep having trouble remembering his name. Are you expecting Jordan Tyson to be your number one starting receiver next year?
Number 2.
Okay, so he's going to get shut down by Taco then.
Not going to happen.
Definitely going to happen.
Yeah, his ankles might get shut down, but other than that,
Well, because of all the injuries?
No, Taco's ankles going to get shut down.
Well, that's not what I said.
What does that got to do with anything?
Has everything, because you said his ankles might get shut down. So in response to what I said, you'd be saying that Jordan Tyson's ankles would be getting shut down.
No, you said Taco Davis is going to shut him down. And I said, no, his ankles might get shut down. And I'm like,
yeah, I said Taco Davis is going to shut him down. You said his ankles might get shut down. So in response to what I said, your statement is about Jordan Tyson. Grammatically, anyway.
No, man. You see, this is what the problem is with Taco.
English has rules.
English is dumb.
Man, we really are off the rails on this podcast, aren't we?
English is dumb.
We're talking about grammar on a audio podcast.
On a football podcast.
What was the most take Bengals and Saints out of it, because like obviously I know like any question I'm gonna ask you, either Jordan Tyson or Oscar Delp's gonna be your answer. So I don't think that's terribly surprising. But so take the whole NFL, and what was the most surprising thing that happened to you?
Most surprising thing that happened in the draft for me was honestly the Browns drafting Taylor Green.
Taylor Green?
Yep.
When did they take him?
They took him at some point in the draft. I forgot. I think it was the 5th round. I think 5th or 6th.
Why is a 5th round pick like the one that you're like? He wasn't in the 5th round. Must have been the 6th round then. But why is a 6th round pick then the one that you're really surprised about? I'm actually curious. I don't see it in the 6th round either.
Because he was drafted. It might have been 7th round.
Oh, he was the first pick of the 6th round. I see it now. Right. So, but why?
1, I'm surprised he fell to the 6th round, and 2,
Taylor Green.
Yeah, I saw him as like a 4th round talent.
I don't think the rest of the NFL did.
Well, I mean they're stupid. But the second thing I'm surprised about is the Browns, who drafted 2 quarterbacks last year. They have like 6 others almost, and you're going to draft another. It's like, dude, I'm sorry, but you can only have 1 starting quarterback each game.
You also need like probably 2 more quarterbacks though.
You don't need 75 backup quarterbacks.
That's true. That's true.
If you have,
the question is like, because they keep saying that they are still all in on Deshaun Watson.
and that's another point. If you're all in on Deshaun Watson, why are you drafting Taylor Green?
And also, why are you pushing Shamar Stewart so hard too?
You mean Shador Sanders?
Why do I always call him Shamar Stewart?
No. Maybe because he's on your team.
I just don't understand. Because it's the two S's probably. Shador Sanders, Shamar Stewart. I don't know. But I mean, yeah, like they're pushing. It feels like all the Deshaun Watson stuff's got to be BS. Maybe they're trying to salvage any possible trade value they could get out of him by being like, well, we still like him. Not that I think I think that might hurt his value if the Browns say he's good.
Right.
But yeah, you're right. Like the Browns just keep bringing in more quarterbacks. I'm not sure I believe that you still believe in Deshaun Watson.
Right. Yeah. That Eagles drafted another quarterback, which I thought was odd. You know, I mean, they signed they traded for Andy Dalton. So I'm like, you know, and you still have Jalen Hurts. So
well, he's the GOAT. So
maybe the GOAT of terrorism, but
terrorism.
I think another thing that was odd.
It wasn't that bad for you guys.
He was the plague. Another thing I thought was interesting, I'm not really going to say surprising, but was interesting, is that we were saying how last night Jermon McCoy, you know, might not even get drafted, and he was the first person drafted today. So that was definitely interesting.
I mean, I guess that was kind of surprising that he was the first pick of the. I don't know. Maybe I guess if he was going to go at any point, the first pick of the fourth round might make the most sense because, like, you've got, like, basically 22 hours for the Raiders to sit there and decide whether they want to pull the trigger on a guy with that level of talent. And I think after 22 hours, you probably convince yourself why the hell not. The reason why, like, I don't think I would have, like, I mean, I would have because I was like the Bengals should pull the trigger, take the shot on Jermon McCoy. But I also understand why they didn't. Because like I was saying earlier, by the time Jermon McCoy is healthy enough to play and then develops, because, you know, we're not talking about like a veteran getting back to their NFL level of play. We're talking about a guy who is going to miss his rookie season, might miss more than that, and is still going to be like highly injury prone probably after that, and still going to need to develop into an NFL caliber player.
Right.
And by the time he's actually developed at that level, and you're not getting him in the first round, he's probably going to be headed for free agency.
Right. Another thing I saw that was interesting was Diego Pavia is now the first player in 12 years to be a Heisman finalist and not be drafted.
Okay, let's make something absolutely clear about the Heisman. It's not that there haven't been good Heisman players in the NFL, but there have been a lot of bad Heisman players in the NFL, and so I don't think people at the NFL. I think in college it's still a heavily revered trophy. I think in the NFL, scouts honestly, I think shy away from the Heisman more than anything.
They didn't do it the last 12 years.
Well, no, I'm not saying they don't draft Heisman guys. I'm just saying teams seem like they tend to be a little more hesitant to draft guys who win the Heisman, unless it's like a guy like, you know, Joe Burrow, for example, who going into that draft, everybody's like being very clear about how they think that this guy is so far and away the best quarterback in the draft class, except for Mike Tannenbaum, apparently.
Let me ask you a question. If Matthew Stafford was a free agent,
yeah,
and your team needed a quarterback for a year, would you sign him?
That's a really okay. So I have a lot of thoughts about what you just said. My first thought was probably irrelevant because I was like, well, I'm a Bengals fan, so don't. I mean, I guess if we need a quarterback, then yeah, I'd sign him just like we signed Joe Flacco. Second of all, I'm talking about draft. I'm not talking about guys who are already in the NFL.
The Heisman is the MVP award of
Matt Stafford is a 30-something-year-old quarterback. Nobody's thinking about the fact that he won the Heisman in the whatever next free agency he's in.
All right, let me ask you another question then. If the NFL went into a redraft where you had to redraft everybody that's in the NFL, is Stafford not going early because he won the MVP?
You are completely missing the entire point. I'm talking about the draft. I'm talking about young players coming out of college, and it tends to be that Heisman winners have not performed the way that Heisman winners were expected to, and that has put a bit of a stain among NFL scouts when they're scouting the draft, not 30-year-olds in free agency. It's put a bit of a stain on how people feel about it. Now, I'm not saying
Trevor Lawrence, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels. Pretty sure there's more out there.
Those guys were also generational prospects.
Devontae Smith, he won the Heisman.
That is true. That is true. There was a lot. There was a lot of talk going into that draft about him falling way further than he actually fell in the draft. To be fair.
So people be drafting Heisman dudes.
I'm not saying they don't draft
Heisman because of his attitude.
I don't know too much about Diego Pavia's attitude. To be fair. I'm just saying I've seen a lot of Heisman guys get drafted lower than you'd necessarily expect. Now, maybe okay, and to be fair, maybe in recent years it hasn't really quite been like that. But for
we are currently living in recent years.
I know. You're right. In recent years, they actually have been more open to Heisman guys, but for a very long time it was like that. So, but you're right. Lately, it has been they have been more open to it. But for a very long time, they were not happy with Heisman people.
And that's just guys that won it. Like we're talking about guys that made the Heisman finalists. I'm pretty sure Malik Neighbors was up there for the Heisman when Jaden Daniels was up. Well, Marvin Harrison, he was up for the Heisman one year and he was third overall. So I mean, guys be drafting Heisman people.
So what's the concern? I don't know too much about Diego Pavia other than his like height, but why do people not like him? Like his attitude?
Because he said F the voters. He peed on somebody's logo. And hold on, let me see. I know those are like the two main ones. Let me see if there's like hold on, let me see. Because there was like a lot of them. I'm probably forgetting. Because people used to love him too. That's the crazy part. Hold on, let me see. People used to like when he beat Alabama as a 22-point underdog. People loved him. All right, here we go. So yeah, he had Heisman post-game outburst saying "F all the voters." Let's see. In 2023, he was criticized for the peeing incident. As the on-field conduct, Facebook users have described his behavior as showing poor sportsmanship, with reports of consistent trash talk and an obscene gesture, and arrogant reputation. While Pavia described himself as confident, others have described him as cocky, classless, and immature, leading to comparisons with Johnny Manziel. And yeah, so yeah.
Okay, I get it. I think peeing on the logo is funny, but yeah, a lot of that.
Not the GMs.
Well, okay, I said it's funny to me personally.
Yeah,
but yeah, a lot of that other stuff. Yeah, I get it. Apparently, he hasn't even been signed yet either.
No, because nobody wants him. He's a cancer.
He does kind of seem like a shithead.
He don't know how to behave. He needs a leash. Like.
And he's also like barely 5'10".
Yeah, and he's an older prospect too. So it's like
Oh yeah, he is 24. Holy shit. Maybe that's why he was doing, because he knew he didn't really have much of a shot in the NFL. So maybe he just figured, why not just go all out?
That's why he was trying to So like Trinidad Chambliss, right? He was gonna be forced to enter the draft, but he wanted to get an extra year, and he was granted it after a lot of legal stuff. But Diego Pavia was doing the same thing. He wanted to stay in college for an extra year, even though he wasn't allowed to. So he kept applying, saying, injury this, like. But I don't even know if he was injured for real. But yeah, but they were saying no, you got to go to the draft, and he didn't want to. And people assume this because
I want to go to the draft.
Are you?
I actually, you know what? I'm gonna. This is gonna be an official press release for Kyle Phelps Enterprises. I am officially declaring for the 2027 NFL draft right now. All right.
Well,
come at me, NFL scouts. All right, I'm ready. I can catch a football. I can. Not very well, but I can do it.
Well, Kyle, aren't you already on the Eagles though? Like, doesn't your contract expire tomorrow?
You're trying to get on the draft.
I'm re-entering the draft.
Who are you, Shamar Stewart? What, you didn't like the contract that the Eagles gave you?
No, I signed the contract, and then I'm re-entering the draft. But I got connections. I'm gonna get them to change the rules.
Connections with who?
With Roger Goodell.
What's his phone number?
It's 318-748-867-5309.
That's okay. Now I know you lied.
Did you
Ain't nobody's phone number that many digits.
Mikey,
What?
did he just give you Jenny's number?
No,
Yes, I did.
Roger Goodell's number.
No, he just gave you Jenny's.
I did give you Jenny's number. She's correct.
Wait, what? Who's Jenny?
It's 8675309.
Tell him he just earned some points for that.
It's a song from like the 80s, I think.
You like the old people stuff too?
No, I don't like that song. I just know that song. Like it's a cultural phenomenon. But you don't know who Metallica is, so you know what?
You're right. I don't know who Metallica is. You're right. Well, I mean, I've been hearing about them lately now, but you know.
Well, yeah, because I keep like making.
Well, no, now I'm starting to hear it. Like now, I'm starting to like I don't know, people telling me about Metallica, you know, with the ads and stuff, and I'm like, huh?
Ads.
I don't freaking know.
You've seen ads from it? I've never seen a Metallica ad in my life. What?
I don't know. It was something on my phone or something about Metallica.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, it's also quite possible, honestly, that like phones are creepy. All right, so it's quite possible that because we've talked about Metallica more than once on the show, mostly just me making fun of you for not knowing who Metallica is. It's quite possible your phone now it thinks that Metallica is a buzzword for you to advertise to you with. Like it's part of your algorithm now.
Okay.
That's phones are creepy.
I know. That's why I don't trust the government.
That is not because of the government. Now the government also does creepy things with people's phones, but that's not the same thing that I'm talking about. I'm talking about the phone companies themselves being creepy.
You're right.
Okay. All right. Well, that's pretty much. I think, unless you got anything else to say about the draft.
Jordan Tyson going to win MVP next year.
I do have a question. Yeah. So I gave a bit of a tentative grade for the Bengals offseason. What grade would you give the Saints offseason?
An A-.
Okay, so we have about the same opinion on our team's offseason. I was actually very, very much not of that opinion until we signed Dexter Lawrence. Once we signed Dexter Lawrence, I'm like, okay, this is if we have a good draft, then I'm feeling pretty good about this offseason. And we did. We didn't have like there may have not been like the optimal draft that I would have done, but like I get the vision, and it's not like we had a first round pick anyway. So like, you know, you're already kind of on the back foot.
Right. I mean, I just think ever since the season ended, the Saints have just been going up and up. With signing Travis Etienne, bringing back Kane Ellis. For those that don't know, he was drafted by the Saints. 4 years later, he signs with Atlanta. Then 3 years later, comes back to the Saints. So I think that's just great. You piss off Atlanta and you reunite with him. I really love the pick of Jordan Tyson. I love the pick of Baron Brown.
Oscar
I love
Oscar Delp.
Okay, he has potential. Okay, I'll say that. Okay, I'm about to be nice to him. He's got like Jack Stoll type of potential. But
he's got his, in my opinion, his ceiling in the NFL is Drew Sample, which isn't a bad guy to have. He's just not an exciting guy to have in the third round.
Drew Sample can't block TJ Watt.
Well, yeah, neither can anybody else in the entire NFL except maybe Amarius Mims.
Nah, that's debatable. But anyways, you know what I also really love, man? I also love this, right? The Saints did not trade up in the draft.
We did.
That's what y'all stupid. But the Saints did not trade up in the 2026 draft. So now next year, and also a sneaky addition that we made today, we traded for Tyree Wilson. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Has he been good in the NFL? No. But Brandon Staley's going to make him know how to play football again.
Was he good in college?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
He was the 7th overall pick back in 2023.
Who?
Tyree Wilson.
Who?
Your mama.
My mom's in the NFL?
Yes.
Damn, she's holding out on me then. I have to call her up at 10:30 at night.
Wait, what'd you say?
I said she's holding out on me. I'm gonna have to call her up at 10:30 at night.
Yeah, she's the starting quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals.
No. I thought you said she was Tyree Wilson. I'm confused.
Yeah, we traded for Tyree Wilson.
Then why is Tyree Wilson the starting quarterback of the Bengals?
No, your mom was the starting quarterback for the Bengals.
But you said my mom was Tyree Wilson.
No, I did not.
You literally did.
No, you said who, and I was like, your mama.
Yeah, because you were talking about Tyree Wilson.
No, I first was talking about Tyree Wilson, but then I went into something totally different.
Well, that sounds like you problem.
When are we streaming that?
I meant you a liar.
Oh.
When are we streaming? I don't fucking know. I think Saturday.
All right. Well, look, you say I'm a liar, but in the words of Imagine Dragons, I'm a bad liar. All right.
That man's okay.
Bad liar.
I wouldn't know. I've never talked to the man too much.
Now you know. Now you know.
All right. I'll leave y'all as always with Who Dey.
Who Dat?
I enjoy the fact that you were halfway through doing that when the stream ended. That's, I think, a comedic way to end that. We got 20 views on that. I'm kind of surprised.
Yay.
I didn't think anybody would watch us recapping